heads towards the end zone. It is.
Describe that final play.
Nothing but God, man. Nothing but God.
Like a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Like, not too many people get to experience.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Shooting for the Stars podcast with y'all's one and only host, Cameron Williams, and Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels is a rock star. Okay, I'm going to start off right there. Y'all guys can see by the title of this video, we're going to be discussing Jayden Daniels today. And as I want to take you guys into it, okay, about yesterday's thriller game winner yesterday that we seen in Washington between the Chicago Bears. Just when we thought Chicago was getting ready to walk away with a W and hand Washington their third loss of the year, Jayden Daniels said other players. And first, I want to go ahead and get into this. The Washington Commanders, what they proved to me yesterday, you guys, in their 18-15 victory over the Chicago Bears, is that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. They're going to be a serious team that we're going to have to take serious account to come postseason time. I mean, seriously. I mean, how could you not? I mean, Jayden Daniels, he's proved it. First of all, I want to get, before we get into this game right here, we all know Jayden Daniels yesterday. I mean, before coming in this game, he outdueled, go back to that Monday Night Football game early in week 3. He outdueled Joe Burrow with the overtime, went toe-to-toe through 2 touchdown passes. Him and Terry McLaurin took over that game. Then not too long ago, played against the Ravens, outplayed Lamar Jackson, beat them 30-23. I mean, they've really just been winning. And ever since they added Dan Quinn, who was the former defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, they've really starting to unlock the championship identity, something that was really not seen in Washington for a very long time. And I know y'all fans are very happy because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Jayden Daniels is gonna win Rookie of the Year. Jayden Daniels is going to win Rookie of the Year. Yesterday's game was an absolute showcase between two of the top 2 rookies selected in the first round this summer in the NFL draft, between Caleb Williams being number 1 and Jayden Daniels, of course, was the number 2 pick selected right after Caleb Williams. And as we all know, I mean, they went back and forth, not back and forth as the offensive game. It was a defensive game, really not much offense, but the came down before the last drive of the game. We all know Roschon Johnson got that 1-yard play, as y'all guys can see. He got that 1-yard play to get in the end zone. But then after that, we left the Commanders with about 22 to 18 seconds left to score. And you guys, and one thing y'all guys know, we break down the game, okay? Y'all guys know we get into the game more than anything over on Shooting for the Stars podcast, okay? And one thing y'all guys know is that, one thing I want to look at, and before I'm going to get into Tyreek Stevenson too, because what you did was absolutely detrimental and it costed your football team. I mean, make no mistake about that. You can't have that. But really want to go and get into, see, a Hail Mary, it's a couple things that have to go right. And in order for this Hail Mary to have a chance at working, I look at the play before the Hail Mary. And I'm talking about you, Matt Eberflus, head coach, supposed to be a defensive guru for your Chicago Bears. Okay, dude, why are you playing back? Heck, it wasn't like, and guys, in yesterday's game, it was not a lot of explosiveness. One thing Jayden Daniels has been very good at, he showed a promise of, he showed a comfortability of, is being able to throw that deep ball. He had a deep ball early to Terry McLaurin to move the ball down about 52 yards down the field early in this game. So this kid can throw the ball deep. He has a niche for that deep ball. He has a good touch on it. So why are you playing back? Why are you playing off? You're giving up the boundaries. Y'all guys can see on the screen. Y'all, he's giving up the boundaries. One thing we teach people, we don't give up the boundaries right here, because you see right here, before they get moved up the near field, see, Jayden Daniels, all they need to do is get him in Hail Mary range. We can have a chance to reach the end zone. That's all you want. They were a little far back at first. He hit Terry McLaurin on that 13-yard out, and that's easy. Cliff Kingsbury, offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders, last season, it was a lot of works in the offseason about him trying to go to Chicago or try to team up with Caleb Williams, because he was the offensive assistant at USC just a year ago with Caleb Williams and all that good stuff. And now he's the offensive coordinator calling plays for Jayden Daniels on the Washington Commanders. And he's done a really good job, not just this game, but this whole season. He called a 13-yard out, get the ball to Terry McLaurin. That's what you want. So now that moves them up. That can't happen. That shouldn't have happened. And by that time, I'm taking a timeout. Chicago never took a timeout. Y'all don't want to talk this over. You know that Hail Mary is coming. I mean, you can hear Matt Eberflus. I'm going to let y'all hear from Matt Eberflus. This is what he said sitting over there. Let me listen to Matt talking about we practice on this play religiously. We practice on this play routinely all during the week, like a basketball drill, all that kind of stuff. Matt, if you practice it, it didn't look like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I will say, y'all just listen to Matt. Just listen to Matt.
Practice that play 100 times since we've been here. And again, I'll have to look at what the execution was of that, but we have a body on a body, boxing guys out like basketball at the very end. We have one guy that's the rim that knocks the ball down. We got a back tip guy that goes behind.
And I understand what you're saying. And when I look at the film and when I look closer into it, they did the right thing. They had 2 bears on Terry McLaurin because they know he's the trail guy. They know he's the guy who's going to set everything up. He's the trail man. So they did a good job on that. They boxed out Terry McLaurin. But again, what really messed them up, see, you guys, everybody's doing the same thing. One thing I always say is that you do not, when you tip the ball up, one thing you don't want to do, the worst kind of the batted pass we talk about all the time is defensive players. You don't ever want to just bat that ball up in the air like that. You don't ever just want to bat that ball up in the air and pat it up because that gives it a chance for somebody to come up, catch up, and catch it. It's just floating in the air. You want to bat it down. You're taught to bat it down. Everybody did their job on their assignments from what it looked like until Tyreek Stevenson, after interacting with a fan, after feeling like I missed a big shot, let me go talk to the fan. You feel like that's more important than a game. You cost your team the game, came ran out of nowhere. If you would have been on your assignment on Noah Brown shouldn't have been just back there behind everybody, behind the pile, just like that roaming. And then here you come like a fool and gonna come tip the ball up and give them and let Noah flick it back up in the air and let Noah Brown catch it and seal the game. Expect him to get fined. There has to be a punishment towards that because you cost your team the game. Seriously, everybody was locked in. Everybody was on their assignment. I don't see that pass getting completed if Tyreek Stevenson doesn't come running in the middle and just taps the ball up. I don't see them winning. But as far as, again, I'm not taking no credit away from Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. Again, like I always say, Jayden Daniels, man, like I said, he's winning Rookie of the Year. And another thing, too, I really like about him is that he's really poised. He really is. He's a poised quarterback. He's humble. The moment's never too big for him. A lot of time in key moments, he's never scared. He doesn't run from the moment. He doesn't flinch. One thing we always see from Daniels is that, I always see is that, his ability, like he's always calm, cool. Like he never blinks and he never flinches. I mean, at all. He's actually always smiling in the big moments. He's always find himself smiling in the big moments and stuff like that. Like we seen, he didn't rattle not one bit. He ran, scrambled for about 13 seconds and made one heck of a play. And this is a guy, like I said again, who I come to expect from this. I mean, he came in week 1 looking like a seasoned veteran. And for the Washington Commanders, what a pick. I mean, this is a team that really not only has a playoff bound, but they're also not only trying to lock up their division. And when I look at their division, I don't think the Cowboys, they're a joke right now. That's a video coming for a whole other day. The Cowboys, they're an absolute joke, okay? The Philadelphia Eagles is something. They don't look like the same team. I mean, they beat up on the bad teams, but when it comes to playing, playoff caliber teams, they don't ever tend to show. They don't attend to show up to the occasion. Okay, and to me, that's a big problem of Philadelphia. And then, of course, who else in their division? You got the New York Giants. We all know they just got their butts whooped by. Well, I won't say butts whooped. They made it a game last night, but we all know what Pittsburgh did to them. Like I said, and they've been how other teams been doing to them. And so when I look at that, man, this Washington Commanders, I mean, they look like they're not just going to make the playoffs. They're going to win their division too. And when you have a leader like Jayden Daniels leading the way, I mean, that's very scary. I mean, very scary. I mean, you look at the weapons. I mean, Terry McLaurin. I mean, not only that, Terry McLaurin yesterday went off for he had 5 receptions for 125 receiving yards. Jayden Daniels was 21 for 38 of his passes, through 326 passing yards, his first 300 passing yard game of his career. Congratulations to him through 1 touchdown pass. Of course, that one coming from Noah Brown for that Hail Mary. And then really the Commanders, one thing I really like how they play. One thing, they play good defense. I will say they play good defense. They get the quarterbacks, and now and their offense is top notch. I mean, they're 12th ranked in the league right now. As they're 12th ranked in the league, they're 8th in the passing with 1,970 passing yards through 8 games played. And when I look at yesterday's game, you guys, once again, I say they beat Chicago in total yards. They had 481 total yards to Chicago's 307. They beat them in passing yards. They had 313 passing yards. The Chicago Bears only had 111 passing yards. With the Bears who had them in the run game, they ran the ball, had more rushing yards than them. But when I look at the time of possession, the key indicator that I like when I look at a team and how they win, you guys, is the time of possession. It's the time of possession. And when I look at it right here, like I said, when I look at the time possession right here, as you guys can see, the Chicago Bears, they had 32 minutes. They had a time possession. They had the ball for 32 minutes and 16 seconds yesterday's game, to the Chicago Bears 27 minutes and 17 seconds. And how do you do that? You run the ball. You don't turn it over. Both quarterbacks didn't turn the ball over. Both quarterbacks didn't deal with too many sacks either. Both quarterbacks got sacked 2 times each. Caleb Williams and Jayden Daniels. When I look at the real quarterback of this draft, I'm going to end this video. When I look at the steal of this draft was Jayden Daniels. Make no mistake about it. I mean, that dude right there came ready to play. And watch out for the Washington Commanders. They're going to be a force. I mean, like I said, Terry McLaurin, Diane Brown, Austin Eckler are good police. Many people were wondering why the Chargers didn't bring him back. Why they didn't bring Austin Eckler back. It's a lot of pieces here for this Washington Commanders team. A lot of pieces. Cliff Kingsbury's doing a great job calling those plays. Dan Quinn, great installing in that defense like what he instilled in the men over there in Dallas. Say what y'all want to, but the last 3 years, Dallas had a top 5 defense every year, and it was because of Dan Quinn. And look at them now. They got old Mike Zimmer calling the plays down. And you seen the game like it has passed Mike Zimmer by. I mean, by. Y'all probably not familiar with Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer was the old long-term coach, long tenured coach over there in Minnesota for a very long time. He did great work in Minnesota. Will always be appreciated and well monumented for his success there. But the game's passed him up. I mean, his defense can't stop a cold. I mean, I can't stop a cold. And that is a legitimate problem. A legitimate problem. But watch the Commander fans, y'all let me know how y'all feeling about y'all season and what do y'all think the ceiling is and what the floor is for y'all season this year, and do y'all think Jayden Daniels will win Rookie of the Year and could go on to win MVP, honestly, the way he's playing. Y'all guys let me know, and watch the Commanders. Y'all continue to keep on rolling, and y'all guys let me know what y'all want to hear next, you guys, on the comment section down below. Y'all guys remember, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I need y'all guys' help to make it happen. I cannot do it without you guys, and y'all guys keep letting me know what y'all want to hear next. I'll keep hitting that like, comment, and subscribe button, and I'm going to see y'all in the next upload on Shooting for the Stars podcast with y'all's one and only host, Cameron Williams.